coming to you from the world's most elegant racecourse. We need two elegant pundits to join us. Thankfully, we have those two. Far side, Simon Mapletoft. Morning, Simon, from Sky Sports Racing. And front and centre, Maddie Plale again. Welcome, Maddie, one of the rising stars of the Racing Post team. It's a tough one, day 2 at Ascot. Let's get it underway. 1,000 metres, huge field of 2-year-old fillies for the Queen Mary Stakes. Any number of possibilities here. But let's have a look at the runners and riders. Some key players here towards the top of the race card. Number 3, Beautiful Diamond, very impressive first time out. Born to Rock, likewise at Yarmouth. Great to have American presence from the likes of Bunchen, from Crimson Advocate, from Kinana. I'm told that's how we pronounce it, and plenty more besides. Gotta Love a Grey is unbeaten, and Midnight Affair has bags of potential. Let's get cracking with the American Raider. This is, I think, a debut runner for American trainer George Weaver. It's Crimson Advocate, Maddie, and she showed plenty of speed to make a winning debut at Gulfstream Park.
She did. I really like her. George Weaver, he won the 2 qualifiers, those 2 races at Gulfstream Park, getting you automatic entry for some of the Royal Ascot juvenile races. This has been the race that he's chosen for her. I think that's a wise choice. She's got lots of early speed. You'll note that in her video replay from Gulfstream. And she also saw it out really well. We often find these American sprinters, they sort of stay for 4.5 furlongs and then get tired. I'm optimistic she's really going to see out the trip, and I don't think there'll be too many better than her.
Too dangerous, I think, at the moment to get in the weeds about the draw. But if she's very fast and she's drawn very high and the stands rail is useful, bingo.
Yeah, I like a high draw in most races, to be honest. It's the way I like to play, and results say that it is fruitful to go that way. I think 9 of the last 10 winners have been drawn 12 or higher. Certainly you want to be looking double figures, middle to high.
Crimson Advocate, plenty of speed. A few of the other American fillies will be going forward as well. Simon, I know you like Beautiful Diamond, and with good reason.
Absolutely. The home challenge, I think, looks strong. Carl Burke, of course, a rising star of the training ranks. He's got some really deep battalions, and this filly really has come to the fore with that impressive win at Nottingham on debut. You looked at her that day and you thought, wow, she scooted across the quick ground. If conditions remain the same, she's going to be very fast. And we talk about the draw. You make a very good point, Maddie. This horse is perfectly positioned in stall 17. I think she'll show electric speed. And, you know, she really is bred for the job. She's by Twilight Sun out of a Lethal Force mare, so she's bred to be very good, and the signs at Nottingham suggest that she's exactly that.
Beautiful Diamond for Simon. I would never accuse you two of being the B team, but you're on a B, Born to Rock, aren't you?
Yes, I really like Born to Rock. What she did at Yarmouth was super impressive for a trainer, Jane Chapelheim, who had 2 winners at this meeting last year in Saffron Beach and Claymore. This horse, would you believe it or not, her dam raced over 1.7 miles. But all she showed at Yarmouth was speed, speed, speed. I'm sticking with Jane. I think this is an exceptional filly.
I think she might be. Does it bother you that the 2nd, the 3rd and the 4th from the Yarmouth race haven't done much for the form?
It's not great, obviously, but equally she put up a pretty high speed figure that would put her towards the top of these. She could only do what she did, and that's absolutely spaced them.
This filly Kinana from America is one I like. Trained by Tom Morley. Tom's an Englishman abroad, trains in New York, started off with 1 saddle, 1 bridle, 1 horse, has built it up. He used to come here as a kid. His uncle, David Morley, won the Gold Cup with Sir Eric many moons ago. I quite like her. Any others we should mention, Simon? Any others you're keen on?
Yeah, absolutely. Such a deep race, isn't it, potentially? A Midnight Affair, the Hilary Needler winner. That's a key race in the north at Beverley. Stiff 5 furlongs. Love the way that she got that job done. Now, she, again, represents good connections. Richard Fahey up in the north. I think she'll go well. And a horse called Out of the Stars, who, for Archie Watson, who did everything wrong on debut at Kempton for Qatar Racing. Missed the break. Didn't come around the bend, but still got the job done. They like that horse, and I think the fast ground will suit that one as well.
I believe you have a long price one in your numbers.
Yes, very much so. Princess Shazara was a big price, outsider of 4 on debut, but she was fast out the gates and fast home. She represents connections that haven't had too many tries at this level, but I think she'll give them a good run for her money. She might be on the wrong part of the track, but it's always good to have one on both sides.
I'll give my numbers first here. This is wildly competitive. Like Simon, I'm quite keen on Midnight Affair. So I am going to go 21, 3, 10 and 5 for the Queen Mary. Simon?
For me, Beautiful Diamond is my selection, horse number 3, then 21, 23 and 6.
I am going Born to Rock on top, number 5, Crimson Advocate 9, followed by Princess Chisara 24 and Beautiful Diamond 3.
Tough start today too. Good luck in the Queen Mary. First big handicap of day 2 at Royal Ascot is the Kensington Palace Fillies handicap. It's over the round mile. It's a big field. We'll touch on the draw in a moment, but let's get straight in with what I think is a key player. Runners and riders here. Number 3, Crystal Caprice for Sir Michael Stout and Ryan Moore. I think she's sitting on a big performance. Very lightly raced, number 6, Joanne there for Joseph O'Brien. Others we should mention, Far Too Shy is a recent winner here. Lady Eros showed improved form last time. All sorts of possibilities. Tamarama has a wide draw and Franca Dettori. Let's get straight into the video, Simon. Crystal Caprice is a filly I like a lot. Despite the fact that she's bred to stay middle distances, she didn't really get home over a mile and a quarter last time. Take us back to Ascot last autumn when she won a really nice handicap in tidy style with Tarab in third.
Yeah, really liked the performance. Just love the way that she travelled through the race. She's a really good, strong traveller. If they go nice and hard, which they will, she'll enjoy picking up off a strong pace, as we saw in evidence on that occasion. She's higher in the weights, but I think she's also a class dropper, so I think she's in the right race, she's in the right place, and I've got to agree with you. I think she's certainly got more to offer. She's very much on my shortlist.
Significant that Ryan Moore is back aboard, I think, for the first time this season. Do you like Crystal Caprice?
Yes, I think she's going to be well positioned to run a really big race. She's been disappointing the last couple of times we've seen her, but course form can often come to the fore in these sorts of contests. She has it, and I think I'd be expecting an improved effort from her.
Yeah, I think she's sitting on a big performance. Let's deal with some course and distance form that came just a few weeks ago. This is 4 for the price of 1. We've got Far Too Shy, who wins the race. Watch the way she travels. She has to work hard in the end, but she really does travel quite well. She's improving. Belhaven runs an excellent race in second. Likewise, Don't Tell Claire in third. And considering One Morning blew the start, then she comes out of that race with plenty of credit. 4 for the price of 1, as I said, Maddie. Of the 4, which one would you prefer?
I'm drawn to Far Too Shy purely for the way she travelled. Jamie Spencer is booked for this filly, and that's going to be good fun to watch, given how he likes to ride with that hold-up style, strong travelling, late arriving on the scene. She's improving. She has a lot in her favour, and I think there's probably more to come.
I know you two of you both like the same filly here, Lady Eros. Tell me why you like the Gosden filly.
I think in many ways a Gosden horse that's been a little bit under the radar, has been brought along really quietly, and she had all the conditions to suit at Yarmouth, Graham, last time. It was fast ground, it was a nice galloping mile, and she really did put it all together on that occasion. She's up a few pounds for that win, of course, but she remains on what I think could be a steal of a mark, 86. She's well drawn, she's got a good low position. I just think she's a filly that's not been overexposed, and for a great stable, a great trainer, or 2 great trainers, I think she's got a lot more to offer.
Yeah, I totally agree. She won in the style of a filly who was on a sharp upward curve last time. Ushie Murphy's on board. We know he rides Ascot particularly well. And I just think she's unexposed. She's the potential improver in the race. I wouldn't be surprised if she went off quite short odds compared to what we see before the race.
If Joseph O'Brien doesn't have a fair week this week, I'm in a spot of bother. And I like another one of his here. And she's called Joanne there. She's only had 3 races. Debut was for another trainer, beat a well-fancied Joseph horse. They liked her so much they went and bought her. She got the job done in the Dundalk Handicap in a wild finish, and last time, up in class for a listed race, she got no luck whatsoever. She finished, I think, 7th. She gave the strong impression she'd have been pretty close to the winner that day. So she's high on my list. Any others we should mention? If not, let's go straight to the numbers, Simon.
Well, let's do that, because I'm really keen on Lady Eros, number 16. For the places, I'm going 12, 6 and 3.
Yeah, agreeing with Simon. Lady Eros 16 on top, Crystal Caprice the 3 second, and then Villanova Queen. I'll give a good mention for her, Jessica Harrington. She's got some good classic form from last year. She's a smart type, wouldn't be surprised to see a big effort from her. That's number 5, followed by Far Too Shy, number 14.
I started this race thinking head scratcher. I finished it really keen on 2 horses, Crystal Caprice and Joanne there. So I'm going to go with 3 and 6, not much between them. Back up from 18 Discretion, who improved from the front last time out, and 14 Far Too Shy, who has the course form. Very best of luck in the Kensington Palace. Okay, let's go with race 3 Day 2 at Royal Ascot. This is the Duke of Cambridge Stakes. It's a straight mile, Group 2 for fillies only, and it's going to be a pretty competitive betting race. Not a huge size of field, but good in terms of quality. Let's have a look at a few key players. Grand Dame for the Gosdens is top of the shop with Jamie Spence on board. Hasn't run for a long time. Jumbly has been aimed at this for ages and ages, and she's been very well backed. Anti-post. Number 7, Prosperous Voyage, is a Group 1 winner in a Group 2 race, and she's fresh from an Epsom win. Random Harvest and Rogue Millennium round out the field. Let's get straight into the videos here, and let's go back to last summer here at Ascot, Maddie, and Jumbly, when trained by the Charltons rather than Joseph O'Brien, was on top form.
Yeah, she's been progressive, and I get the feeling they always know that there's been a big performance in Jumbly, and it's just been about nurturing her, campaigning her the right way to deliver this big effort. I would say I'm not probably as keen on her as you are, Graham. I think if she was still trained by the Charltons, and they're a brilliant outfit themselves, then she probably wouldn't be the price she is now, but it was a good effort on her first start for Joseph O'Brien last time, so I can see why the money's come, but not quite on top for me.
Good performance first time this season at the Curragh.
Good performance, if not just a little too fresh. She was a little keen. I think you'll see a much more settled filly on this appearance. Now she's got that run under her girth, but you know, high expectations around this one. She cost 1.25 million at the mare's sale at the end of November, so she needs to start to repay the price tag, but I think she might just come unstuck here, Graham.
You're trying to dent my confidence here, and I won't have that. I think she's got a really, really good chance. What about others to mention? I know you two both like Prosperous Voyage, and it's easy to see why. It's the back form from last year when she toppled the mighty Inspiral at Newmarket in the summer, and she came right back to form at Epsom on Derby Day.
Yeah, that form could have a boost by the first race of Royal Ascot, of course, but I don't think you can take it too literally, as the favourite clearly underperformed there. But even still, she is a Group 1 winner. You said at the top of the shop in a Group 2 race. She's got that standout class, you know, runner-up in a classic in the 1,000 guineas last year, and I thought she did really well to win on seasonal reappearance at Epsom. Came from the back, didn't always have the most daylight, but still showed that potent turn of foot, staying on strongly. I think the market's underestimated her all the way along, to be honest, and with the Frankie Dettori factor, I think she's going to be very, very difficult to beat.
Talk about Queen Aminatu, Simon, because if the field go too fast at Ascot, strong finishers can really have a big say, and she's a confirmed hold-up filly.
Yeah, really like this filly, and I think full credit to William Haggis for keeping her in training. She won a listed race back in the autumn. I thought that might have been it for her. She might have gone off to the paddocks, and then she came out again and performed well on artificial surfaces, but she clearly has more to offer. The stable clearly feel that. She's very tough. She's tough and resolute, if not maybe just likely to be found wanting at this kind of level, but I do respect her. I think she'll run well, and great respect for the stable as well.
Okay guys, let's try and break down this Duke of Cambridge Stakes. I'm a Jumbly fan, so I'm going to go Jumbly on top, number 4 for the Duke of Cambridge, ahead of 7, 8 and 10. Simon?
Well, it's Prosperous Voyage for me, number 7, and for the places 4, 2 and 1.
I'm agreeing with Simon once again. Prosperous Voyage, the 7 for me, followed by Rogue Millennium, the 10, Jumbly 4, International Angel 3.
Duke of Cambridge all wrapped up. Next up, a big one. Correction, a really big one. Prince of Wales Stakes coming up next. Welcome back to Royal Ascot for race 4, the Day 2 feature. What a race the Prince of Wales Stakes has been over the years. Think back to Dubai Millennium, So You Think, Fantastic Light, Ouija Board, Highland Reel, World, globe-trotting superstars, and we have a race I think that lives up to that standard this time around. Let's have a look at the small but select field. Down the card we have a Derby and King George winner in Adayar. We have a Champion Stakes winner in Bay Bridge. We have Luxembourg, big time, multiple Group 1 winner. Mostadaf is in great form this season, and My Prospero is expected big things this week. Let's get straight into the key video here. It is Ascot, 10 furlongs, last October, good to soft ground, note that, and it is Bay Bridge, it is Adayar, it is My Prospero fighting out a tremendous finish. Simon, this was one of the races of 2022. The first 3 are all back again.
It's a race that you never tire of watching over and over again, and of course it is the key piece of form for this race, although the conditions underfoot are likely to be a little bit different. The horse I like the best is the one who came out the worst on this occasion, My Prospero, who I think has so much more to offer. We could see on that little clip how he He really finished his race off well. I think 1.25 miles is really what he's all about. He ran in the Lockinge. The race wasn't really run to suit. It was over 1 mile, and predictably, Graham, he was doing all his best work in the closing stages. Conditions, I think, will be ideal for him. There'll be a good tempo, that's what he needs. And I think back over 1.25 miles, I think he can turn that Ascot form around.
Good luck. One of the beauties of form study, Maddie, is 3 people can look at the same 3 horses in the same race and take a different view of the big 3 in the Champion Stakes. Which one do you prefer?
Yep, 1 video, Graham, and only 1 video is needed because Baybridge is the one that I'm going to be siding with here. Magnificent on Champions Day, and he's been a little bit unlucky in some of his other performances. This season he's been coming to the boil like a typical Sir Michael Stoute horse. You'd never expect the best effort from them first time out, and then last time in the Tattersall's Gold Cup, Luxembourg on top, but arguably Baybridge probably didn't get the best route through. Luxembourg definitely got a pace dictating ride from Ryan Moore then. He could try it again here, but I think that Baybridge is just, he's going to be coming to the boil at the right time. Second in this race last year. I'd expect him to go 1 better this time around.
Touch on an absolutely key point. I'm a Baybridge fan. First point to make here, there is about that much between the big 4. £2 on BHA ratings, which means jockeyship, tactics, pace, ground are all going to be very important. My reading of Baybridge is that he was second when well fancied for this race last year, and he got caught up in a tactical race. State of Rest just had the run of things. Baybridge probably needs a good gallop to run at. I don't go with the people who say he can't handle top of the ground, and he was slightly unlucky behind Luxembourg in the Tattersall's Gold Cup. Luxembourg is a horse who divides opinion. He has a slightly ungainly head carriage, Simon, but he's winning plenty of big races, and what he showed at the Curragh last time was that, if need be, he can make the running.
He can make the running. In fact, he really enjoyed that, didn't he? And he could dictate the race again. It could become very tactical. From the front end, he's got all the tools in the box. This horse has a great turn of foot. He can quicken. He's got a nice cruising speed. He's the sort of horse I think you can have him more or less where you want in a race. I'm with you on Baybridge. I don't get the theory that he's that ground dependent. He's a good moving horse. Quicker ground won't be an issue for him, but Luxembourg really did break him in Ireland last time. He had to be tough, but he got the better of him, and I think he might just do it again.
Your view on Luxembourg?
I think he was well positioned last time. He's a very good horse. I think he could be well positioned again. I think he's a key tactical player here when we're looking at pace maps and who we think are the likely leaders. He could go forward, although Mostadaf is in there as well, and he could also provide pace pressure. That would suit Baybridge. He's definitely going to be involved, but I don't think he's the winner.
Mostadaf bolted up in Saudi, ran very well for a long way behind the Japanese monster Equinox in Dubai. Is he a lurker?
I think so. I think a dark horse who I think can take another step forward. Whether or not it's going to be a big enough step to take the gold medal is another question, but I can see the horse certainly running well and justifying being in the lineup. But the way I see this one panning out, Graham, I think Luxembourg from the front. I think Baybridge will be eyeball to eyeball at some stage, but there might just be something there to pick up the pieces, and with a good tempo I think My Prospero is the one that might just profit.
Good luck. My numbers for the Prince of Wales Stakes, and it is a humdinger. 2-1-4-6. I think Baybridge might be the value, underrated in the market. 1 Adayar, haven't really touched on him, and we should do, because in his Derby winning season when he won the King George, he was a tremendous horse, and he looked very good. Last time out at Newmarket, the second horse from that race has won a Group 1.
That form has worked out well, and Connections are angling for that 10 furlong Group 1 on his CV again with Adayar. He's got that strong stamina, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were wanting a decent pace for him. I think he's going to be involved, Graham. I'm copy and pasting your selections. 2-1-4-6, Baybridge, Adayar, Luxembourg, My Prospero for me.
Simon?
Well, it's for me, it's My Prospero. He's, I think he'll come of age in this race, number 6, and for the places 4, 2 and 1.
Prince of Wales Stakes, one of the highlights of the week. Good luck, whatever your selection is. Well, now it goes from tough to really tough. Race 5 on day 2 at Royal Ascot is the Royal Hunt Cup. Straight mile, huge field, 30 runners declared, all sorts of possibilities, wildly difficult. Let's have a look at the runners and riders. 2 Tempest ran really well in this race last year. Intelligent was second in this race last year. Bless him, has a very good Ascot record. Further down the card, Astro King has hit the board in this race not once but twice. Dunham from Ireland is a rags to riches story. Perotto, very well fancied by one of our pundits today. 25-point Linus could be an intriguing front runner. You get the picture. Any number of possible winners here. Let's go straight into our video montage. The first horse we'll see is Perotto. He's been gambled on. He's a previous Royal Ascot winner. Simon Mapletoft came in the 2021 Britannia Handicap. This horse could be very well treated.
I think so, and this win came in emphatic fashion for previous trainer Marcus Tregoning, from a high draw as well. Note that, came from stall 19, he's got the high draw again, this time around in stall 30. This horse really powered home well on that occasion. I think 2 years down the line probably hasn't progressed as well as Connections may have hoped back then, but now with Roger Varian, and made, I thought, a pleasing return in the Victoria Cup here over 7 furlongs. The ground wasn't really his bag on that occasion, but the quicker conditions here that we expect will really suit. He's got the high draw. He's been laid out for this race, and I think he's worth his place towards the head of the market.
I can tell you like him. I know you like previous course and distance form, Maddie. Let's go back to last year's Royal Hunt Cup and 2 excellent performances in 2nd and 4th from Intelligent and Astro King.
Yeah, Intelligent in 2nd, a former Group 1 winner, let's not forget. Behind Dark Shift last year, put in a really power-packed finish. I expect he'll run another big race. And Astro King back in 4th, another previous horse in this race. They've been there, they've got the t-shirt, so you can trust that they're going to be able to deliver a performance in these conditions. Will it just be down to one of the more unexposed horses to come and beat them, though?
I'm going to have a look at Bless Him here. Our last video is Bless Him in a big 7 furlong handicap here at Ascot last summertime. And this is absolutely standard for Bless Him. He's dropped out, he gets well behind under Jamie Spencer. The harder they go, the better he finishes, and he just failed this day. He seems to be coming to the boil. He's in on a minor line on my numbers. I'll go through them. I'm going to go with a Godolphin horse. Saeed Bin Saror won this race a couple of years ago with Real World, bolted up. Ghali is a very lightly raced veteran, and he won 2 handicaps in mighty impressive fashion. 10 Ghali, 25-point Linus. Keep a close eye on him. Tom Marquand's booked. He's a front runner, drawn towards the stands rail. Big chance. 8 Bless Him to come late, and 17 Dunham from Ireland, who's been super consistent. Maddie, first 4 for you?
Yeah, a few we have mentioned and a few we haven't. Number 1, I'll go for Atrium, number 18. He's a course and distance winner, and he's trained by a man who does really well in these handicaps on Ascot Straight Course, Charlie Fellows. He looks very good when he delivers. I'm hopeful that this is going to be another big effort from him. Blue for you, number 11. I think he's got the strong travelling style you want in a race like this. Hopefully he can pick a few off late, followed by the 2 who we've already mentioned, Intelligent number 7 and Bless Him number 8.
Well, Perotto for me from the high gates. I think this could be his year. Astro King will be finishing well, so Perotto number 21, Astro King number 13. Chasing Aphrodite, course and distance winner on reappearance, has had a wind up. Looks like he's an improver, number 20. And Gailey, the horse that you like as well for the boys in blue, number 10.
You get the picture. It's the Royal Hunt Cup. Every year, it's one of the toughest puzzles on show. The very best of luck in the Royal Hunt Cup. Welcome back to a bright and very breezy Royal Ascot. Race 6 of 7 races on day 2 is the Queen's Vase. It's for 3-year-olds. It's a mile and 6 furlongs, a staying contest. Let's have a look at some very interesting 3-year-olds. Number 2, Chesspiece. Keep an eye on him. He's getting better and better. Circle of Fire represents the king in the Queen's Vase. Extremely well bred. Number 5, Gregory, is likely to be one of the strongest fancies of the day, with very good reason. Aidan O'Brien's a great record in this race. He runs a couple, including 9 Peking Opera, and 10 St George is getting better all the time, a strong stayer. No VTs here, but let's get straight on to Gregory, Simon. Not many horses get to a BHA rating of 110 in 2 starts. That's exactly what this fella's done, and he's bred to keep getting better and better. Yeah,
exciting, and he's taken every step forward very much in his stride. A little bit ungainly, perhaps, in the run at Goodwood last time, but it's a very tricky track, that, and I think on a more conventional track here, you'll see better of him still. He's the unexposed horse in the race. He has got that tempting unbeaten record. He's sure to go well, isn't he? And I think this is the sort of race that could propel him into top level races later on in the season.
Are we talking about a Group 1 horse in a Group 2 race here, Maddie?
I hope so, and I think we could be. I really love this race. It's a race that I tend to have a pretty good record in, so I'm hopeful that Gregory can continue that streak. He's by Golden Horn, who's had runners over jumps. He's a very strong stamina influencer, excellent Derby and Arc winner. And this was a good race he won at Goodwood, the Cocked Hat, been won by the likes of Dubai Millennium, who you mentioned earlier on. St Ledger winner Mars Marvel as well. He could end up going that route. I think he's a very, very talented horse, and he's just going to get better and better.
Already rated 110. If he keeps improving, the rest are in trouble. But we should mention Chess Piece, Simon. This is a horse who's coming through the handicap route, and last time out at York, he put up an impressive performance.
And Connections really do love this horse. They're getting very excited about him, so much so that he has got an ARC entry, so that could be a lofty target for him come the end of the year. He's only rated 101 at the moment, so he's got a bit of progress to make, but I think he can make that. I think he can bridge the gap. He was impressive at York over the 1.5 miles, so much so that I think the step up in trip is going to really suit him here. I think the stiff finish could really play to his strengths as well. He's a great looking horse. You'll see him in the paddock before the race. He looks the part, and I think on decent ground here, 1.75 miles is exactly what he wants.
Matty, can I ask you about Peking Opera? Aidan O'Brien has a great record in this race. Simon touched on the idea of stepping up in distance. This fella's taking a marked step up in distance, but he's by Galileo, so it may well suit him.
Yeah, those horses, they just tend to keep on running, don't they? And Aidan O'Brien, we've seen it time and time again with these 3-year-olds. They want a trip, they will stay, they'll be genuine, and crucially, they will take big step ups on what they've done previously. He's in my minor numbers, Peking Opera.
Circle of Fire is a horse with a really good pedigree, ran very well for a long way in the Lingfield Derby trial. Is he good enough?
No, in a word. I think he's a decent sort of horse. I think he'll find his level. Perhaps for me, he's a Group 3 horse, Group 2 horse at best, but he's up against horses here that I think are going to have Group 1 tags come the end of the season.
Could be off to the tower for these two if the King hears what they're saying about Circle of Fire. Numbers time for the Queen's Vase. We might have unanimity for the first time here. It's 5 Gregory, so hard to oppose. 2 Chess Piece, I like him for the Quinella slot. 9 Peking Opera on the upgrade, and 3, Your Majesty, Circle of Fire in his 4th.
Yeah, lots of similar decisions to make here. Gregory, number 5 on top for me, followed by Chess Piece, the 2. Hadriana's 6, followed by Peking Opera at the 9.
Yeah, Chess Piece, I think James Doyle can make all the right moves on him. Number 2, Gregory, number 5. I'll give Circle of Fire a place, number 3, and St George to creep in, number 10.
Not quite unanimity, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Gregory for me and Maddie. A Chess Piece for Simon in the Vase. Let's finish off day 2 of Royal Ascot with a wonderfully competitive Windsor Castle Stakes. All sorts of potential smart sprinting 2-year-olds, over 1,000 metres, 5 furlongs. Let's go down the card with a few key players. 3, Barnwell Boy, so impressive on his debut. Bombay Bazaar is going the right way. Fandom might, just might run for the second time in 2 days. He's declared for Tuesday's Coventry. Hackman is pretty useful. Inquisitively, a live long shot, I think. Johannes Brahms for Aidan O'Brien, who won this race last year with subsequent champion 2-year-old Little Big Bear. Maximum Impact is smart and speedy, all sorts of options, and down towards the bottom, Sergeant Wilco is a potential long shot. Let's kick straight in here. What have we got? We've got all sorts of possibilities, but we should start with Barnwell Boy, Maddie. I know, like me, a Goodwood first time, you were mightily impressed.
Yes, he looked a little bit green at stages, took time to get the idea of what was required under Oisin Murphy, but then in the final half furlong he really got motoring and powered away. Lots of improvement there, you'd think, yet he's by Connections who know how to deal with these precocious speedsters in the Johnstons. I just thought on raw talent, he's got a lot to show for, and he's also by a sire I like, Star Spangled Banner. I think he's going to have a really good week, so keep your eye on him.
Maximum Impact is 2 from 2. He's got the course form. He's got a pretty high rating already. Trained by Alice Haynes, who's a relative newcomer to the training ranks, but she's sharp as a tack. And Maximum Impact has plenty of potential here, Simon.
She's done really well with her 2-year-olds, that is for sure. She's a progressive young trainer. She's got a progressive horse on her hands here, won in the mud on debut, but then backed that up with a nice performance in Conditions Company here over course and distance. So the horse has had a real sighter of the track. The thing I like about him, Graham, is that he really sees out the 5 powerfully. He's got a lot of gears, this horse. He's speedy, but he'll see the trip out really well. And I think, if it means maximum effort in the closing stages, I think he'll be equal to that task. I like him a lot.
Let's throw the floor open. Maddie, what else do you like?
I'm going to Beverley for their 2-year-old trophy, Bombay Bazaar. I think this is a horse who's been underestimated all the way through his career, and won with something in hand last time, had quite a lot to do and was quite far back at a crucial stage there, but overcame it to be a dominant winner in the end. I think he's set for a big run for Richard Fahey, a trainer who has done well in these Royal Ascot juvenile contests in the past. Johan Brahms, we've mentioned him. I think it'd be remiss of us to leave him out of the frame, and then I'm with Simon for Maximum Impact. So my numbers: Barnwell Boy number 3, Bombay Bazaar number 5, Johan Brahm 12, and Maximum Impact 15.
Any more at a price, Simon?
Well, yes, I mean, Maximum Impact is the one for me, horse number 15. Fandom could be interesting if he does turn out again quickly, having been declared to run the day before. Number 6 could be dangerous from the States. Hala Emirati for Alice Haynes, another player for that young trainer, number 10. And Bombay Bazaar, I like that one as well. We'll love the stiff 5. That's horse number 5 to complete the 4 for me.
Yeah, I like Bombay Bazaar. Couldn't quite find a place for him in the first 4, so I've gone 3, 11, 15 and 20. But 3, Barnwell Boy, looks so exciting in romping home at Goodwood. Windsor Castle is the last race on day 2 at Ascot.